Alrighty, we are now on the third video, the third text of Pirkei Avot, the third text in the first chapter. This starts off with Antigonus, which is an interesting Greek name. Antigonus Ish Socho, which translates to Antigonus, the man of Socho. Socho presumably is a town or a city, maybe even a village. So Antigonus, and not just a man, but probably the leader, perhaps, of a village, with an intriguingly Greek name. Ki Baal Meshimon Hatzadik, he received from Simon the Righteous. Now again, this is going back to the very first, just 2 days ago, the very first Mishnah in Pirkei Avot, the very first text in Pirkei Avot, that talked about Moses receiving the Torah from Sinai, and then after that transmitting it, and then transmitting it and transmitting it. Here we finally see the word receive once again reappear, and Antigonus, this leader of Socho, receives the Torah from Simon the Righteous. And as we mentioned from before, how much when we talk about the Torah is passing the physical Torah, as well as maybe the mantle of leadership. And certainly he is an Ish Socho, so he has a certain leadership quality, whether it's limited into just this town or village of Socho, or whether he came from Socho and he wields more power and authority. Not clear. Okay, Hu Haya Omer, and just as I said yesterday, Hu Haya Omer, he used to say, it was a frequent saying, that something he commonly said. So what is it that he said? He said, Do not be like servants who serve the master in the expectation of receiving a reward, but rather be like servants who serve the master without the expectation of receiving a reward. And he goes further, let the fear of heaven be upon you. Now this is a really interesting move that we shouldn't be looking to be rewarded necessarily for basically, as we serve God in our divine service, in our serving the Lord and obeying the Torah, right, and carrying out the Torah, but we shouldn't perform mitzvot. We shouldn't do these things according to Antigonus Ish Socho. We shouldn't be doing it. We just want the reward. I'm doing X so that I can get Y. He said, no, be like servants who serve the master without any expectation of receiving a reward, which leaves a lot of ambiguity. Is it because we should just accept the relationship and we just do it? Or could it be that maybe even just doing these things is part of the journey? That there are certain things along the way that's merely by serving, maybe by taking part in these activities, mitzvot, Torah, these sorts of things, maybe that is part of the journey and we reap the rewards along the way. Not clear. And he also says, let the fear of heaven be upon you. So Antigonus Ish Socho here is very much, he articulates a view really where it's just about service and fearing heaven. That's his viewpoint. That is his point of view in this. And how common, how pervasive that modality of thinking, unclear, but certainly one that is more along the lines of subservience. It's certainly one of, and I also want, I realize I should clarify one thing. This word, let the fear of heaven be upon you. Another way of thinking about this word is awe. Maybe having an awe of heaven be upon us. But in either event, his theology, his way of looking at the world is really just do it, right? Just do it. Just obey God. Just carry out the Torah. Not really nuanced, and like I said, that's not necessarily everybody's view, and certainly not in Pirkei Avot, but that's Antigonus, the leader of Socho's view of it. All right, well, thank you for watching.